Hi, I'm Kirby.
I'm Dana.
And we are
Migratory Nerds. It's time for our latest adventure. Let's get exploring.
I'm in Vegas for work, but I've got a little bit of time, so we're venturing outside the city about 35 minutes to head to Red Rock Canyon to do the Scenic Loop Drive. The Scenic Drive has various hours throughout the year, including the Visitor Center, and they also have timed entry slots at peak season, or at least they did when I was going, so make sure you check if that's still in place if you're going to do this. The Visitor Center is the first thing you come upon once you enter the Scenic Loop Drive. Make sure you stop on the way in, as you can't get back to it on the way out without leaving the Scenic Loop Drive and going back in, which would be an issue if it was a timed entry point of the year when you were going. The Visitor Center has lots of exhibits and things to learn, a great outdoor area with a tortoise habitat. This is also the only place on the Scenic Loop Drive that has bottle refills or to get water. You're in the desert, so make sure you stock up before you head out. And as always, we've got our trusty app guide along to give us tidbits and fun facts along the way. If you're doing any sort of national park area, or they've expanded to a lot of different things now, make sure you look at the guide along app to see if they have a guide for where you're going. You pay a one-time fee and then you own that area specifically forever. So when there are updates, you can just download and update. We did Red Rock Canyon a few years ago with the guide along, and I already owned it, so we were able to use it again. At the first stop, this is Calico Hills. First scenic overlook. There's a little trail. I think there's a longer trail, but we're gonna go just a little bit, see, but it is the desert, so bring hydration. So I'm adventurous, but I'm not that adventurous, plus Dana would kill me.
Here, the seam of red rock is fully exposed. So, let's quickly answer the obvious question. Why is Red Rock Canyon so red? It's prolonged exposure to water that percolated through the sand when they were hardened dunes that has caused the oxidized iron to be leached out. If we want to think of it in more relatable terms, the rock at Red Rock Canyon is basically rusting.
We're at the stop for I'm at the stop for Sandstone Quarry. Walked a little bit down flat path, but gravelly, so not great footing if you were not steady on your feet. These are old sandstone blocks they were trying to quarry when they were trying to make this a quarry, but the sandstone was too hard. You can really see the red definition. It's just so different in the middle of the rock. Guide along says this scenic viewpoint is the tallest point along the scenic drive. So you have the big sweeping views out of the whole thing. The Willow Springs area, and guide along, Gary said that there's a short trail right past this restaurant where we can see pictographs. So let's go. This path to the pictographs is concrete. Pictographs are paintings on the rock, and they're rarer to have survived this long due to erosion and other weather factors. You see the handprint? And down at the other end of the parking lot is the trail to the petroglyph wall. This one is much more hiking trail. Still short though.
Before pioneering white people began settling in these parts, Native Americans have a history of using this land going back as much as 12,000 years. Most likely, they were attracted to this area due to the availability of water from natural springs that flowed here, edible plants, and animals they were able to hunt. They may not have settled here permanently, most likely living nomadic lives.
We're stopped at Icebox Canyon. It's about a mile-ish hike into the canyon that way, and there's a waterfall. But Gary said it's called Icebox Canyon because it's always the coldest part in Red Rock, because it's in the shade, and then the waterfall gives it a cool mist. The guide along said that this area is the flow. If there's a flash flood or rain, this is where the water flows. So it looks like nothing right now, but it can be really ferocious and fierce and swift moving water if there's a rainstorm. It sure does look fake though, doesn't it? It's pretty incredible. This is Pine Creek Canyon. It's mostly a long hike that I am not doing today, but it's still pretty. Hike all the way into there. Oh, this is Oak Creek Canyon. This is the last stop on the Scenic Loop, so figured I'd just walk a little and then we'll be wrapping up. Don't forget, it's the desert. Make sure you bring water and you have lots of sun protection. This photo is proof for Dana that I took care of myself and wore sunscreen and protected myself from the sun. One last look at those red rocks and a quick stop at In-N-Out Burger before it's time to head to the work part of this trip. Alright, so my final thoughts on Red Rock Canyon. This is the second time we've been, and I would do it again. It's not a, if you're not doing a really long hike, it's not a full day commitment. It's about half an hour, 40 minutes outside of Vegas, depending on traffic, and it's just a 13-mile one-way scenic loop. So if you're only stopping and, walking a little and things, I did it in a couple hours. I was back in time for dinner and to just be able to relax, but I would highly recommend guide along. We've talked about that. I talked about it in the video. I learned so much that otherwise I would have just been driving and stopping and looking at pretty and, read the signs, but there's always just so much information and good information. I don't feel like I'm learning. It's just fun. Not sponsored by Guide Along. Happy to be, because we love it. There is an entry fee, in addition to the timed entry, which is during certain parts of the year, if they continue to do that. But the America Pass for national parks for the year does cover the entry fee if you have that, per car, so that was really nice. And I said in the video, basically once you enter the gate, the visitor center is the first sort of stop on the left, and so if they have the timed entry, if you don't do that first, you can't do it because you exit the loop and you would have to come back around again to be able to use the visitor center. So I stopped there first, get all your stickers and your merch. They have bathrooms, the only bathrooms with running water, and a bottle fill up, and places to buy hydration, because there is no hydration. There's no bottle refills anywhere on the loop. But highly recommend it. Make sure you add it to a Vegas trip, or just fly into Vegas and do all the fun different national parks in the area. I'm Kirby, half of Migratory Nerds. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you get notified when all our new videos drop. Bye!